place, and when you come to them, you see his or her face closer and closer and closer, and you understand that you come to the self area of that person. Too close, sometimes it's too difficult to come, because probably some judges do like that and look on another direction, that you can't come too close to them. But I have some favorite judges I can't say of me, but just I like how they communicate, how they feel. I don't know really how they judge us, judge our dance couple. Probably it can be the last place, or in the middle, not the first one, but how they move, how we see each time, and how they communicate with our trainers, coaches, and so on. It's very interesting. And I had also a chance to look at my trainer that I am dancing in that group, and there is a couple, a woman and a man, and they have also 3 children. And this woman had and has now few favorite couples. And sometimes you think, why aren't you the favorite one? You say, it doesn't matter. It is the interesting way to be, for example, not the favorite, but try to do some steps to be the favorite, maybe. But probably it never comes. But nevertheless, when the trainer has her favorite couples, every time I see that all the time she wants to share with them, for example, all the time during the lesson, or to have to give some tasks, mistakes, and to look at them, because some of the children, we have a group of different ages, and they are small, they are so cute, we can say, about this dance couple, and every one of us can see that. And once her son asked, Mama, why every time you show and we can see that the smallest couple is your favorite? She said, oh, you haven't to compete with them because you are too old. And they're, for example, 11 or 10 years old, and he is much more. And in your age, when you were dancing and was the same, do you remember that boy, Shevchenko? You competed with them. He said, yes, I remember that you like more him. They were the same age when they dancing. But it is a little bit interesting to see such trainers, teachers, how they prefer one people. They don't avoid another. But these people that, I can't say that don't like, but they have not so much preference for these trainers. They have to be strong. To be strong, to every time to come, to do their task, and not to give up because they aren't the favorite one. Alexander, what about you? What does favoritism means to you, and did you have in your school years something favorite for you?
Something favorite?
Yes.
Thank you. What about, there's a hard to answer. But first of all, I would like then to state that to my mind there should be preferable kinds of favoritism in different spheres, not the favoritism as a whole. When we are a job, there should be favoritism of professional manner, or functional manner of obligation, duties of workers at sea. The favorite worker is the worker which is the best in his or her function. For example, in accounting, calculating office management, etc. Or some banking operations. It's first. There should be no, for example, private favoritism. Because if the public-private relations are in preference in organization, these relations are unfair and motivation of workers is reduced. In family, vice versa. If the family with our children, it should be personal. Favoritism should be personal because the personal relations are more preferable. If there are a lot of children, for example, there should be favoritism of love. The parents should be favorites for everybody of the child or the children in an equal manner, in fair manner. What about myself in favoritism? I would like to say that I, in school, destroyed some favorite crowds because I was not very often in preference for my schoolmates. There were different situations, different relationships, and I had to destroy the school doubts. Why? Because of childhood conflicts. For somebody, I was a bad boy, for somebody I was a good boy. So there are some situations. What about my favorite things in school? History. And there was a teacher of history which was a favorite, among the favorites of the teachers. Why? Because of professionalism. Professional desire to input love into subject, a professional ways of teaching, by which the knowledge were used by me very easily, and even being in the university, and after the university even, when I make some jobs, because of this teacher. The same I would like to say about the teacher of maths in the university and after the university. What I would like to say about different favoritism situation. Yes, I was not favorite in school, in the office, but I would like to mention one of my bosses in the state, in the governmental body. I worked about 50 years ago. There was one, his strong point. No private favoritism. Favoritism for waiting results. Did not mix personal and waiting favoritism. That should be results. But what was the real problem at the same time? That he and all the employees of our department were not motivated by state in material, financial and other ways. Other ways to work more actively to and use our knowledge and efforts at that time. Because of salaries. Very low salaries. So this was the paradox situations when the state employees were not in preference for state governmental policy. That's why I think that favoritism is useful when it is reasonable, it is comfortable, and when it is suitable and effective in some spheres. But I know a lot of other situations when there were private favoritism except of waiting results. Was this fair? No. The best employees in such organizations simply, as Yuri said, went out. Such favoritism is not in place, and it is not effective. It is not fair. It is unfair favoritism. It is harmful favoritism. Thank you for attention.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for warming up, and now we will come to the second part of our meeting, and we will have table topic session, and Yuri will lead and say the task remind us.
Veronica, okay friends, I am table topic master, and I have no program for all table topic session, and it means that you will be table topic master also, and you understand that I mean table topic marathon. I just explained the rules. The rules will be next. You should deliver the speech, not answer on the question, but story. The time for your story is 2 minutes. It should be introduction, body and conclusion. Use humor, personal experience, some not simple questions and answers, and train your public speaking skills. Do not forget about the word of the day, preference. Try to use it in your speech. So let's start. I'll be first table topic master. I will put the question, and I invite the speaker. This speaker will deliver first speech, and his or her and he or she will invite next person who will be table topic master. So we will change each other. Table topic master, speaker, table topic master, speaker. So my first task is for audience, and there is the quote. I don't know who is the author, but it sounds like that the greatest things in the life are not the things at all. So what are the greatest things, or what is the greatest thing for you in life? And is any volunteer for this question? So the greatest things in their life are not the things at all. Zoe, I invite you. So, what are the greatest things in the life for you?
Somebody will give you my timer. 2 minutes. Press this violet. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. I told you several weeks ago that my favorite thing in life is people. That's why I would say the most important in our life are people. People who surround us, people who live with us, people who live very far but we know about them, people that we like, people that we hate, people that we follow, and people who follow us. I think that the most important in our life are relationship between people, because this is something that keeps us happy,
and that can make us miserable. If we lose money or notebook or whatever we can lose, it's okay, we can buy another one. If we lose people, we cannot substitute. There are no two persons who are similar. Everyone is the whole world. I lost my favorite friend on the 2nd of August. She died from cancer, and this is already like 2nd month is going, and I cannot substitute her by any other person. So I would say that we need to cherish the relationship that we have, people who are around us. We cannot help not being preferable. So preference is something that will be with us, because we are emotional creatures. We like, we hate, we wonder, we are surprised. So let's be us, let's be ourselves. We cannot change our nature. I will change the correct.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. I knew I did mistake.
The teacher's heart cannot stand it. Okay, and I would like to invite another table topic master, and it will be Artem. Artem will ask the question.
Okay. Do you know when you comes to friends, maybe comes to some sociable place when there are people, and you met a human who change your life, who change yourself. What is your preference in the people? What do you like in people? So please, it's a question to Veronica. Veronica, sorry.
Can you repeat one more of your last question?
What do you like in people and what's your preference in people? Okay.
As you know, our family likes to travel a lot. When we came to India, we liked that color or that skin. Sometimes they came to us, especially children, and they touched our skin, that it is white. And when we stand near them and took some pictures, they were so happy, and they were telling everybody they had opportunity to stand with white people. It was very unusual for us, as being first time there. But when we went to Germany, it was the children and the people aren't so often as, for example, Indian, and you have to ask them if they like to, for example, have a picture with them. The answer can be no. No, thanks. I don't want to do that. It's their choice. When I was in Japan, some of the people, or most of them, are also very open, and they came to our dance concert, and they'd like to do some presents or to see our faces. That Ukrainian team came to Japan to dance for them, and every time we had chance that they also danced with us. We had a simple movements, so they were happy. Oh, we dance with Ukrainians, we can do that. Not only they can do such movements. So their joy and their smile on their faces also we saw every time when we were on that stage. and also after when we left our stage, they applauded a lot, and few times we have to come back and to do something, to continue to dance a little bit for them. If you like to travel, travel a lot, have preferences in your life and find people that will follow the same idea and the same that you like to do during your free time or your life. And then next question. Lena will put a question to us.
Question? Well,
You had a question.
Question or a topic for someone to do.
Yeah. Did you put a topic to somebody?
I don't have anything on my mind.
You have to. You have a way to come here, and the topic will.
The time is too short. May I just think a bit?
Okay. You may. Then, Yuri. Alexander.
Okay.
What about you?
About favoritism?
No.
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 Any
Just
question.
Question. Any
Or
task.
topic.
To ask somebody a question. Ask somebody a question. How are the things? Okay. Let's, Zoya, tell about your favorite thing.
Okay, I was already talking. Maybe ask Lena
Okay.
to talk about her favorite thing.
My favorite thing?
Yes.
2 minutes.
Yeah. In what spheres?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You choose.
Yeah, that was too strong. My favorite thing. Alright, I will just list my favorite things for you. My favorite color for now is violet, and I like blue. My favorite food are sweets. My favorite subject at school, at the university, and will always be English. Then what else? My favorite time of the day is noon. My favorite pet is dog. And by the way, I completely agree with the quotation that you said, that the most valuable things in life are not things. I also think that it's relationships between people, and maybe, well, I also like my preference is my preference, how to say, I prefer all the interesting intellectual stuff, like psychology, maybe some interesting articles, and I often found myself doing these days, reading some interesting stuff and thinking about it. And I also like very smart people. I like talking with them. What else do I like? Okay, let it be. Well, that's all. That's all. I've said enough. Thank you.
Okay, now you invite next
Okay.
person who will ask you a
Should I
question.
ask the question?
No.
The person should ask the question.
Maybe.
Okay. Artyom, could you acknowledge and ask your very special question?
Okay, guys, do you know we are people, we are humans, and we have feelings. But now I'm about humor. I you agree with me that humor helps to live in this world. So please ask your opinion about humor. I invite you. What do you think about humor? Maybe you use it or not?
What is it? Humor. I would say about the humor that we calibrate the people by the humor with many other things. For example, for one person is something funny, for another one it's not funny. And from the sense of humor, we can find the people who are close to our mind and to our soul. And for example, I like funny literature. For example, Mark Twain and Mikhail Zhvanetsky also. And I visited one time visited I stand-up show. Yes, and it was in one ceiling. And really I enjoy it, but as you understand, the humor is very, very low. Yes, and I visited this event with one girl, and we just started our romantic relationships, and this humor was low, very harsh humor. And the first minutes of this event we were a little bit stressed, because probably it was funny, but we were in romantic relationships, and I do not remember, but probably we used plural form of communication. We did not use on Ukrainian or Russian "ты", we used "вы". And it was like the jump from the parachute without parachute. But at the final part of this event, we started to laugh, and louder, and probably after this event, our relationship became deeper and better than it was before this stand-up show. So I think that humor is very powerful thing in our life, and from this thing we can communicate better. But you should see the person who is close to you, and it's like a reflection. Because if you stay with the not a right mirror like this, you will see like fat or thin, and it's not fit for you. So find the right person and use humor, and you will have a great time. Lena, do you have a question now?
Well, maybe I will make it up.
Okay,
while-
you were a speaker, and you needed time for putting the test. So.
All right.
Okay, and try to imagine, and my last 15 minutes maybe will be like that. Some come to me, said that I have 15 minutes, go to audience, said what I want to say it, but I won't. I just take guitar, go to the dark corner, sit, and all these 15 minutes playing guitar. Just my favorite song, just be with myself, because it's 15 minutes mine, and it's last my minutes. But if the task that I should to some say, maybe my last word was that people maybe my last words will be that people is a strange какое существо?
Creature.
A creation is just a creation.
Creature.
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 Creation. People are strange creation, so people just sit and think this 15 minutes in your mind with yourself.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe it will be finished.
Probably you can invite last table topic master for Alex.
Yes.
Because he was not speaker.
Okay, you.
Okay. Okay, Alex. I was table topic master, and I'll be the last table topic master also. So I would ask you one question. That Sigmund Freud once said that he studied the mind of women during 30 years, but nevertheless he could not understand what the woman really want. So this is the task for your speech in table topic session. What does a really woman want?
In different situations, the woman shows their image. Why? Because the men don't understand what they want. But in different situations, their desires are different because of their irrational, logic, behavior of woman. The main thing I think they want is love. To be loved, to be happy, to be recognized, to be understandable. In every situation, in every second of their contact with men. Of course, sometimes they want to be dominative, to be main, to, I don't know if the, I will joke now, try to joke now, I don't know if the Freud researched matriarchat, but Karl Marx researched. The matriarchat is a society of woman dominance. Women are everything, and men are nothing. Women command, and men are servicemen. This society is where we give a life. So, first of all, I would like to say that women are irrational. But their motives are moral motives. The motives of keeping family, the motives of love, the motives of emotions and organization, something. The main they desire is love. This desire cannot be rational. So it cannot be researched by psychological tests, as rational motives. Because we can do a lot of social surveys, we can do a lot of videos, tests, but in real life, all the stress will be forgotten. Because of the irrational essence of this feeling. My speech is up to end.
Thank you for such unusual questions that every of you put to us, and we had time to think over what can we share with you. Now we will come to the last part, and we will have what is the name?
Evaluation.
Yes, evaluation. A table topic evaluation, and Zoya will give us few words and recommendation how to be better as a speaker.
It was very good table topic session, I tell you. I didn't know that like 5 of us or 6 of us can make such a wonderful table topic session. Thank you very much. I would say the major things that attracted my attention. I agree with Alex, who said that asking questions and answering questions are equal tasks. If the question is good, the answer is good. And the very bright example of that was very last speech and very last question. It was a wonderful question, I think, Yuri, and it was a very nice answer, Alex. Your speech was, like for the first time in all those years that you attend the club, I saw like sparkling eyes, smile. Your voice was from high pitch to low, from almost whisper to loud, and you were having eye contact, especially with girls in our room, and it could be noticed absolutely. And you were connected with the audience. For the first time, I see your very close connection. You were talking to the audience. So it was a brilliant speech, and I think because the question was very good. The question was very good. It gave you emotions. It gave you desire to perform. Your gestures were very good. Your movement. So it was excellent speech. I also noticed that when the question is difficult, then we don't have like ideas from the very beginning. For example, Lena's speech. So she came here, she didn't know what to say, she started listing, making a list of things. And it is quite good to make a list of things in the beginning or in the end of any speech. But then, slowly, she was like getting more energy, getting more ideas, and she made the full table topic speech out of very vague question. But it was very good. You mentioned some things that you like. You spread on that. The only thing I would recommend to make some conclusion, to make some idea that you will want us to remember or to do, or some kind of slogan or question in the end, which was the case with Veronica's speech. She always finishes her speeches with "let's," and then she says, "let's travel, let's do something," and it is very good. It gives us optimism and good emotions, and she always smiles, and that was another example of good Toastmasters table topic speech. Artem, this time my question was not probably very good for you because you are too young to think about your last moment, and it was difficult. But I loved the answer. I loved the answer about guitar playing, and you could spread more on that. You could explain why guitar is so important to you, what this music gives you, so there is the space to go more and more. But thank you for the answer. It was a good speech. You were not making any humorous remarks. I thought you would suggest some humor because you like humor. And so as a whole, so speeches were good, and we can do more of this. And if I can continue as a timer, can I also speak, not to move again? As a timer, I noticed that we start thinking about finishing the speech only when we see a red color. We should all, me including, we should start thinking about finishing the speech at yellow color. Yellow means over. It means that you need to say one sentence, one or two sentences, and be done. So it was a little bit over time for all of us in table topics, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So we should try to avoid this, because at the competition of table topic, they will not allow us to speak more than 2 minutes and 15 seconds, I think. Something like that. So, and the shortest speech, I think, was Artem's speech. You didn't get to 2 minutes. You spoke like 1 minute and 40 seconds, something like that. Okay?
Thank you so much. Be attentive. When you ask Alexander, you have to ask about women. Then he is very happy to answer your questions. Yes, you are. Grammarian, please share what did you mention about today's speech of everyone, and who used this word of the day.
Okay, may I just stand at my place? Please?
Yes, you may. How can I show?
Well, perhaps I was more like a phonetician today, and a little bit of grammarian. So I made some remarks, some notes, and here are what I noticed. I've heard a very strange word, weke. What is it? Weke. There is no such word. Worker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's phalanx. Worker and work. And then, I don't know, this crouch. I don't know such a word. Alex also used it. Maybe it was a part of a bigger word. I don't know. And the word order is very important. The word order in English is fixed. And sometimes the members of our Toastmasters club violate it, like Alex, Artyom, and Yura, and maybe me occasionally. Just use the right order of words. And, the bright example. One time visited I stand-up show. One time, or even I visited stand-up show once. Pigment, Prasudok, and all the other members of the sentence. Loud, somebody said load. Load, it's a different word. Loud. And Artyom, this goes to you. I wrote down your sentence. When you comes to place or to people, when you come without the ending S. Okay, and my last remark is about sound R. Yura, in English there are no such sound. It's kind of soft.
So what was the word?
A lot of words.
Dry.
well, you,
Dry.
well, in
What?
Dry.
well, a lot of words, and well, even a year ago or several years ago, you were not using this sound so aggressively.
It's
Yeah.
from
Yeah, this
German.
This is kind of influence of German
Maybe you
or
learned
Spanish
German
or Spanish.
and it
or
kind
Italian.
of interferes with English.
Yeah.
So just try to use a softer sound R. All right, that's all for today. And the word preference. Everybody used it. Zora used preference. Veronica used preference, and Alex also used preference, and you and Yura and me once. So every one of us did a good job on using the word of the day. Yeah. All right. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. In German, we can say, for example, 13. Some Germans say 13. They like.
Yeah, they also don't have r. So the r
It depends
Something
from the
like
area when they are.
from the area.
Yeah.
From
For
the
example,
accent.
in Switzerland, they can speak German. Like we say Hochdeutsch, like American English. Yeah.
Yes.
Hochdeutsch, and they use it soft. Some of areas they use like ich, ish, or something like that. It's like in our villages, like babushka said something.
Yeah,
It's the same, I think so.
it's
But
very Spanish.
yeah, it's Hochdeutsch. We have this another task. Yuri, what about our EAU and so on? What can you mention to us?
This is not the big problem that you said. I notice a little bit different. Artem, during your short speeches you used too much the words but and so. If you use but, next sentence but, it's too much. And be attentive to the so also. Veronica, you have your own method how to create crutch words and crutch sounds. For example, you pronounce too long and or, for example, you said something and then and people are there. Or, for example, you use this sentence. You can use mobile phone or you can whistle. So make these words shorter because they sound like post filler. So I understand that the sentence can be long and you need to time to think and combine these two or more parts. But nevertheless, be attentive. And Lena used a few times Karach sounds air. So I did not observe in Zoya's and Alex's speeches quite some events. Thank you.
Thank you. Lena, where are you? Are you here? I know that Lena prepared something to us to sing.
Yeah.
So we come to our last part, and the next meeting it will be in the House of Scientists.
No.
No. Is it the 5th?
Why not?
But
3rd of October.
Fred?
October 3.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yes. I'm sorry.
It will be there. Do you have any ideas about the topic?
I would like to hear from you.
Then we have time to think about that and to write.
I hear it every time.
Every time, every time the same. Lena, we're waiting for you. You have prepared something for us.
Yes.
Please share
Song.
Song.
Song or coming
Song-
to the song,
song of the
name
day.
of the song, and so
Song
on.
of the day.
This song will be dedicated to autumn and to the relationships. Let me just catch my breath. Как все невзрачно, не празднично, осень в августе. И птицы на юг улетели, и не вместе мы. И небо огромное, низко так, дотянусь рукой. И так далеко друг от друга лишь только мы с тобой. Мы оторваны с тобой друг от друга, как июльская гроза и вьюга, как двум берегам реки не встречаться мне тобой издалека любоваться. Как утро твое начинается на краю земли, чаще, наверно, встречаются в море корабли, но мне почему-то не верится, что мы не вдвоем. Пусть счастье навеки поселится в твой далекий дом. Мы оторваны с тобой друг от друга, как июльская гроза и вьюга, как двум берегам реки не встречаться мне тобой издалека любоваться.
Thank you. No words. Our president, I give floor to you.
Thank you.